So South Korea just got its first ever Olympic gold medal in snow sports, and the 18-year-old girl crashed so hard in her first run that she thought her knee was broken, but she got out, landed a run that beat Chloe Kim, a twice gold medalist, and made history. But within 48 hours, the country was trying to take it back. Here's what actually happened. What happened is, after the game, they put on this banner, Choi's friend and the neighbors, they put on this banner in front of the apartment to celebrate her success, her win. But then when some people saw it, something happened. So they filed complaints with the district office, attacking her as a rich kid showing off, and then the banner was reportedly removed in response to this complaint. So why? You might say, okay, what happened here? Okay, so she won a game, an Olympic game. She was a gold medalist, and then right now she's coming back to her home, and then now somebody put on a banner, and then she was complaining, and then the banner was taken down. What happened here? She was a hero for the country. Okay, so for the context, why they call her a rich kid? Okay, so in this complex, right, a standard 79 square meter unit has been sold for 3 to 4 billion won. It's almost like $2.5 million. And the biggest one, about 245 square meter units, it's about 12 to 15 billion won. It's about $11 million. $11 million is those top tier people, those rich people that beyond imagination one, they live there. So this explains why they're attacking her. So, and it went online and the whole hell broke loose, basically. And there are two major voices, right? There are two camps formed. So the first camp A, so a person said, I don't understand how the narrative is supposed to form around a silver spoon kid living in a no 10 billion won apartment just because you want to go matter. And they added, children from wealthy families can get back on their feet quickly even if they fail. So stories about overcoming hardship don't really resonate in the same way. Trying to downplay her achievement. So they're basically saying, you're so rich, you getting a success is not really good and not something that is so wow. Because again, you have so much resources, you're so rich, and even if you fail, you can get out very quickly. So really not something to celebrate, I can tell that a big part, it sounds like coming from an envy, right? So there can be, okay, a person said, not every rich kid becomes a gold medalist. Trying to defend her effort, which I totally agree. Come on, guys. Even if I'm rich, if I'm born with $1 trillion, it doesn't mean that I'm born with the gold medal. I still have to put in the hard work. I still have to put in countless hours that you would never know, experience, right? I have to put in all the efforts in order to get to the point where I got the gold medal. And then now you're trying to downplay my success by saying, okay, I'm rich, so I get a gold medal. And, it's not some impressive things. Okay, so there's a person say, when a poor person wins a gold medal, it becomes a national epic about a great hero. When a rich person wins a gold medal, people treat it like, if you have money, you're innocent. If you don't, you're guilty. And the post continued, isn't it typical of people who can endure hunger but can't stand seeing others do well? It's basically people cheer more when someone from the poor or disadvantaged background succeeds. When someone rich succeeds, people are suspicious or dismissive as they don't deserve it. It's kind of like a human tendency to admire the underdog and resent the privilege. I get it. So there are two sides. One is attacking her, one is supporting her. So why it happens? Why so many people trying to attack her? What is the background of this thing? So in order to understand the background, we have to look at this film, which is called Sky Castle. I think it comes out 6 years ago. It went so viral. I believe that all Koreans know it, if I'm correct. It's very, very popular film. So it's basically about elite parents turn education to warfare. So, in the film, family obsessed over getting their kids into top universities, treating success like a high-stakes strategy game. And also status over unity, wealth, image, and prestige matter more than insurance, mental health, exposing how toxic the pursuit of elite success can become. And also the system corrupts everyone involved. And what starts as patient spirals into manipulation, pressure, and all these things, showing the dark cost of win at all costs education culture. I'm not saying that it's fully representing Korea, but it does show what's happening in Korea in a very exaggerated way. So we have to understand a few things about Korea. So gold spoon versus dirt spoon. It's it happens on 2016, where it talks about your family's wealth, connections, and access can quickly decide how far your effort can go. So it's basically if you're born with a lot of wealth, you're able to go a long way, But if you're born with not that much money, it's really hard for you to get your way into those elite universities and get into a good job. Yeah, it's basically like those elite parts are not fully merited based anymore because, top universities, they increasingly favor those who could afford better preparation for a start, where, again, you need this curriculum, you need this, better education where you got a lot of private tutors. If you don't have money, you can't have the access. And if you can't have the access, that means that you can't get into those 3 big universities. And if you can't get into the big universities, you basically lost the chance of getting into these big companies, right? Which basically is like, if you don't, in a nutshell, is like, if you don't have money at first, you're like given not a death penalty, it's like a death penalty that you can get into a big company and earn a good amount of money. It doesn't mean that you can, you put in a lot of hardships and eventually you start your own business, you get a lot of money. Yeah, you still have the chance, but the chance is very small. So it just get and hard there, and it just makes their life so hard, especially for those who are not that rich. But for those who have connections or they have the previous generations have a lot of wealth, it's very easy for them. So it kind of like forming this gold spoon, you're born with this a lot of, this money versus this dirt spoon. So this is the background, and that explains why people are attacking her. Because imagine that you're in that situation, right? You are born and you got basically no chance of competing with those rich family. They have connections, they got private tutors, they got good sports, they got good curriculums, they got everything they need. But you, not really. So what I think that we can learn from this thing is it's really about, I think some interesting thing that we can take from here is life is hard, of course, and life is really unfair. I think we can all agree on that, right? I don't think life is fair. Like, why am I not as tall as those Korean idol? Why do I have, a Korean style face that, gets all the, this attention from girls? Why I don't have those mastermind where I can solve 100 of math questions within an hour? I don't know. I don't know. And it's sometimes very hard for me to accept that truth as well. Like, why can my friends enjoy all those privilege, but I can't? Why they can shine like that, but I can't? But it's also something that we need to deal with because it's some reality that we eventually have to face. Even though we know that it's unfair, life is unfair, which it is. But to some point, we still have to face it. We can't just always blame the life is unfair, and we always live in the anger, which might lead to this kind of a case, right, where they attack her. And I'm not saying that, I don't think attacking her is a good thing. Definitely not. I'm not supporting that. But I do have empathy for them because of, the environment. Because it's very hard for them, to be honest, living in this kind of environment where, so high competition, and then you really get very less chance of, getting into the desired life, which you have been taught by your previous generations that hard work is equal to, equal effort, which obviously it doesn't work out that way. So, yeah, I hope that, I just wanted to say, Choi Gao, yeah, you did a great job and congratulations, and hope that all of us can have a good life. We don't fall into this comparison. Instead, we go for some deeper level where we're going to search a meaning in our lives. Especially, I would recommend going for God. And for a Christian, I would say go for Jesus, because he's the only way that was truly satisfies you, even though you don't have anything on this earth. So, see you in the next episode. Yep, bye-bye.